Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for an awesome spinner, and we got the Hummingbird as well as the Tribird, and both are made by MTE Designs. Particularly, we have Matthew Eaton. And I just actually got the Tribird today. I have the bar spinner or the Hummingbird for quite some time now, and I've grown to love it. That's probably one of my favorite bar spinners. Yeah. So here we go. It does come in this wooden packaging, which is quite nice, and it's one of those that you appreciate the packaging that comes with the spinner. This one in particular has this clear acrylic here, just slides it out. That's a nice the logo there for the Hummingbird. Slides out and you pop out the spinner. It does have some padding in there in the middle for the caps and keep it nice and polished. The body though, this is stainless steel. It's media tumbled from what it looks like. It looks like stone washed. Yep. That reminds me of my Delta Core. Has that same like grayish look on the stainless steel. Yep. Very nice. It is a press fit R18 bearing. I did end up replacing mine. I replaced it with a stealth bearing. The one I had before, it's I think lightly greased. It is smooth, but I prefer just the hybrid feel and longer spin time. So there we go. Stealth bearings is one of my favorite bearings to use. And actually I just recently got the FC Essentials. Yeah, the hybrid ceramics are really great bearings to use. Yeah, there we go. Let's take a look at the Tribird right here. Nice packaging as well. Got that wood. You see there's a screw right there. That's the hinge. And there is a magnet, a neodymium magnet. Kind of helps it lock in place. So we slide it out. And inside we got the Tribird. There we go. Really nice. And this is... Oh no, I just got it today. I didn't replace the bearing. Because it's using the SBV2, again by FC Essential. It's one of those nice smooth bearing, and yeah, you hardly hear it. It's really quiet. It's I think stainless steel with a nylon cage, but you can feel the feedback. It's a nice soothing feedback right there. Really great. Alright, so looking at these two here, they have the same finish. Both are stainless steel. Yep. And actually, if you have them on top of each other, it's actually the same size of the arm, which is quite nice. That means that if you're already used to the Hummingbird, yeah, this is very familiar and quite great. And being a tri-spinner, you're gonna get that nice balance. You change the axes, quite nice. But for myself, I like bar spinner. Sometimes I like to change the axis, kind of get that more, a little bit more feedback. Then you go back to being smooth, then feedback. Yeah, it's just really nice for me. So in terms of fidgeting with this, with that angle or the curve, you can pull it this way. I find that on this particular position, I can get a lot of pull from that, or the power flicks. Yep, quite nice. Or even just pushing, same way. Flip it over. So yeah, very nice. And same thing here, no different. Now let's look at the design. Now the design is actually, it's quite simple, but I find it quite elegant. Yep. So you just have that little dip right there near the buttons. And in terms of the clearance in between, let's see right there, just a little bit, and that kind of prevents the, any particles getting in the bearing, which is good. Now let's take a look inside. Wait, I think I already went over that. But So inside, again, we have the Sentinel's stealth bearings, which I swapped out. These are the hybrid bearings with the stainless steel on one side. Although I've seen another bearing that has the same way, so it's possible it's just another way to retain those bearings inside, or the cage. Now, the first time I got this, it took me quite, or it was a bit difficult to remove the buttons. For one, the buttons are quite smooth. There's no knurls on the side, so when you're trying to unscrew it, your finger just slipped off. So the best way to go around that, or trying to get the buttons or to open it, is getting a rubber band or maybe rubber gloves. Put on both sides, and this will give you grip to unscrew them like that. So, or even if you're trying to tighten them, yeah, the rubber bands will probably help you get that grip. Now for this one right here, I think for the recent ones, and like I mentioned already, it's using Hex SBV2 bearings. But let's take a look inside. There we go. So you get that nylon cage right there, and stainless steel bearings. Yep. And this does offer a smooth spin. I might change that out. And yeah, I just have to use my bearing tool removal, or bearing removal tool. Let's see, let me get this thing here. And actually, a lot of companies are making this now. So this is the one that is 3D printed. I have a spacer for the R188 and a 608 right there. I'm just gonna put it on, push it out, and put some Loctite, and put a new bearing in. So yeah, really nice spinner. Now it's balanced. And for those going to be wondering what's the dimensions, so for the Hummingbird, get my, let's see here, it's about 2¼ inch in length, roughly around there. And more than likely this is, well, it's a little different, but the spin diameter is going to be the same, I think. Let's gotta align this here. Yep. Again, they're the same arm length. 2¼ inch. Now, for those wondering what is the weight on them, got my, there we go, my scale here. So for the Hummingbird, or the bar spinner, about 51 grams. Which is a really good range. I typically like the spinners that are within 40 to 70 grams. Those are kind of like the normal or the lightweights. Because typically anything from 70 to 100 grams, kind of like your decent heft to them. Then anything beyond 100 is just heavy. Alright, so this is about 66 grams. Yeah. So what was this again? So it's about 15 grams difference. Yep, about. So I guess each arm is about 15 grams. But yeah, really great. And let's do some comparison with other spinners. Alright, so comparison with the other spinners out there. And actually, you'll notice that the Hummingbird, it's a little longer. Yep. I guess most of the bar spinners are about in the 2-inch range kind of deal. But likewise also, the Hummingbird is thinner. It's a little bit more skinnier compared to the stubby here. Yep. Even for the geometrics. Yeah, you got more weight on the ends compared to this one. Yep. So that's that. But in particular, let me move my camera here. is the Hyperstone. And actually I have an interesting story about the Hyperstone. So I come across the Hummingbird because of an issue with the Hyperstone. When I got it, the QC part or the quality control was not up to par. I got it with a wobble. So spinning it, balancing on my finger, and I can see it wobbling before. Now this is made in Vietnam. Trying to get it exchanged could be costly because I have to send it back, then they have to send it again. It's gonna take long, and it's just one of those. What if I try to fix it? Because along this time, I was able to balance out my Consumod's Celtic spinner that was made in brass. I filed the flats to just enough. I guess to the point that it's balanced out. It's not wobbling because one side was heavier. That worked out, and it kind of gives me a false sense of optimism that I was able to fix this. I tried, and again, let's try this. It will go on one side. Yep, it is heavier on one side. Because if it over like, oh, actually, yeah, it will just dip down a little bit there. But this whole side, I filed it out with one of the diamond files, and you can still see the scratch there. Then I went ahead and just polished this back, so it's smooth, and it's less. It has the less wobble now, so which is good. As you can see here, the wobble is, yeah, a little bit, but it gives me a nice feedback. It's a lot better. So I've grown to just enjoy this. But one of the comments on that post was the Hummingbird, and it's one of those, now maybe I should try the Hummingbird. At first, when I compared this to, you got more of the cutouts here, a lot more cool designs with the Hyperstone compared to the Hummingbird. The Hummingbird is very simple in terms of, cuts, but I like it. It's quite elegant on its own, like I mentioned before. And it's design that kind of grows on you. It's a hummingbird. It's a small, like a small bird or a small spinner in that sense. And it spins like really fast too. And going along with that, how the hummingbird has like really fast flapping wings. Yeah. So it kind of goes with the name. And you get the Hyperstone here. So in a way, I grew to love it, and to this day, one of my favorite bar spinner out there. It's really nice. And now they have the Tri-Bird, which is really great too. So yeah, I'm actually kind of curious how come they didn't call this the Tri-Hummingbird. I guess that is too long. Or they could probably name this a different kind of bird. What's slightly bigger than a hummingbird? Starling? Yeah, actually, wouldn't be a bad idea to call this a starling or something like that. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it for the review. Hope you guys like it. Highly recommend getting the Hummingbird. It's a really nice bar spinners. Or if you like dry spinners, this is not too bad either. Yep. And there you go. I'll link the Etsy page, because he does have an actual website, but it's not updated there. It wasn't listed compared to the Etsy. So there we go. And I think that's about it. If you got questions, let me know. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.